If you're somebody who actually wants to succeed on YouTube and possibly even make a living off doing this, then you're going to want to stick around and watch this video, because I'm going to cover a few really important things that are going to make a huge difference to what you're doing, what you're creating, how you're creating it, and how you think about YouTube. So let's get stuck into this. Succeeding on YouTube is all about making videos that engage an audience, that get people to click on your videos and watch them, and to keep watching them all the way through, and ideally watching more of your videos afterwards. And this means you need to have a bit of an understanding of how YouTube works, what it is that they're actually doing, and how you can help YouTube help you grow your channel. And it's pretty easy, really. It comes down to two really main points, and it's pretty easy. It really comes down to two main points. The first of these is getting people to click on your videos in the first place. So getting a viewer matched up to your video and giving them a thumbnail and a title and description that entices them to click on your video and choose to watch yours instead of a whole pile of other ones. And the second point is, once somebody does start watching your video, you want them to keep watching your video through as far as you possibly can, hopefully all the way to the end. And that's called viewer retention. So we're going to have a look at these two important things. I'm going to start by looking at getting people to your video, and then we're going to have a look at how to create a video that keeps people watching longer. Okay, the first point, getting people watching your video. Now, I know this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but getting somebody to the point of starting your video and getting this bit right is probably far more important than actually getting the video itself right. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but when you think about it, what's the point in creating a fantastic video if you never get anybody coming and starting to watch it? I mean, there are billions of people out there, literally, looking for videos to watch every day. There are probably millions or hundreds of thousands at the very least searching for exactly what you're making a video about. And YouTube wants to take those people and find videos for them. And if you want YouTube to match your video to somebody's viewing behavior, well, here's a really good place to start. To make this happen, there are 5 things that you need to take into account. The first one of these is to have an understanding of who your audience is. Who is it that you're making this video for? And I'm talking about a lot more than just understanding what sort of age range and gender and time zone you're looking at. I want you to think about what sort of work do they do? What sort of income do they have? Are these people with children? What sort of hobbies do they have? What type of food and lifestyle maybe? Do they have a good car? Do they own their own house? Do they tend to rent? Are they homeless? There's all these sorts of things, and I want you to come up with a really, really good picture in your mind and write it down as well. It's actually quite important to write this stuff down because it helps you cement it. Come up with a really good picture of who you're making videos for, who is your target audience. The next thing you need for a really successful video is a really good keyword phrase. What I mean by that is you need to have a phrase, a set of words that when you type them into YouTube or type them into Google has really good search volume, so lots of people are searching for it, and has a low competition rate, which means there aren't that many results. As you can see, your video is going to do better in search if more people are searching for the title and there are less titles out there that match the search results. Your ratio is going to be a lot better. There's a really good tool for this called TubeBuddy, and I'm going to put a link up in the top corner here that you can click on to go and learn a bit more about TubeBuddy later. The next thing you need to have is a really good title, and that title should include your keyword phrase. It shouldn't just be a keyword phrase, but it should include it. So for example, if your keyword phrase was little green men, then your title might be searching for little green men on Mars. So what you're doing is you're taking a phrase that doesn't have much meaning, though it is and does get good search results, and putting it into a sentence which is more human targeted. So the keyword phrases are often machine targeted. They're the things that are going to get you good statistics and good search results and are going to be high in search value and low in competition. But the phrase that you put that in your title is what's going to be more appealing to a human being. If you can include more than one keyword phrase in there, so little green men and searching for little green men, they might both be really good keyword phrases, and if you can combine them into a title, that's even better. Once you've got your title and your keyword phrases sorted out, then it's time to start having a look at your video's description. A description is going to be something that's less important but catches a lot of the other things outside the net that you're casting with the keyword phrase in the title. And your description, especially in the first 3 lines, needs to include your keyword phrases and your titles, but in a paragraph or in the first 3 lines, in a couple of paragraphs or a couple of sentences that once again really appeal to humans. If you can fit more keyword phrases into those first 3 lines, then that's even better. The reason it's those first 3 lines, well, that's what pops up in a description without being hidden under that more tag that tends to pop up. The first 3 lines there are the ones that are more frequently read by humans, which also means those are the first 3 lines that get a higher weighting when they're indexed by YouTube and Google. Now the 5th item is one that I've left to the last in this first section on purpose because it's just really the most important, and that is having an incredible thumbnail that really reaches out and is really compelling and calls people to click on it to see what the hell you're going on about. Your thumbnail needs to really stand out and really be attention grabbing and incredibly easy for somebody to read and consume straight away. It also needs to contrast against all of the other thumbnails that might come up in the same search. What you can do here is use TubeBuddy and compare your thumbnail to all the other thumbnails that come up in the same search, or you can just search for your title and keyword on YouTube and see what other thumbnails come up on the homepage. If you end up with a homepage full of red thumbnails, maybe you want to create a yellow one or a blue one. If you get a whole pile of thumbnails that have got a certain picture on it or a certain design element, maybe you want yours to be the one that really stands out and just contrasts to it. You want to make sure that in this whole field of other thumbnails, you're doing something that makes yours be the one that really draws people's eye in. And there are a few things that you should include in your thumbnail to make sure that that absolutely works. First of all, put your face on the thumbnail. Now, I know half of you are going to go and say, oh, I don't really want to put my face on there, I don't like da-da-da-da. But I'll tell you one thing right now, having your face and your eyeballs staring directly into the barrel of the lens when you're shooting that thumbnail works. If you've got your face and you're making that eye contact with somebody at the other end, they are far, far more likely to click on your thumbnail than the next one over there that doesn't have a face on it. Because I can tell you, connecting the eyes is just something that humans do and they can't help it. You have to look. Now, the great thing about that is then if their eyeballs hit your eyeballs on that thumbnail, you've got like 1/15 of a second or something, 0.15 of a second I think it is, to have them read everything else. And if I'm here, for example, and I put some text here like this, you're going to read that text in 1/15 of a second because it's big, bold, contrasting text. You saw that? Big, bold, contrasting. And that is really going to get you to click on this. So you want an enticing title. That's going to be down below your thumbnail. It's always there below your thumbnail. And you got this big text here that really grabs attention. And you're creating a relationship by having this eye contact. Those things and good, bright colors are things that will really make a thumbnail stand out. It really is as easy as that. I know it sounds a bit cliche, but if you go and just do some searches for things on YouTube, you'll see what I mean. Now, I realize that's a pretty quick overview of those first 5 points, so if you want to see more detail, I'm going to put some links to videos down below in the comment section. They're going to be coming up over the next couple of weeks as I record them, and you can also just click down here on this little subscribe button so that you get a reminder when I do publish videos. Don't forget to hit the notify bell. Anyway, let's carry on with the next 5. Now in this section, I'm going to give you some tools to help you make a video that's going to keep somebody watching for longer. There are 5 steps to this, and before I get started, I'm not going to tell you how to actually shoot a video. You've got a camera. You've looked at lots of videos. You know what makes good photography and cinematography. You've got some way of recording audio, and you can do a bit of an edit. You don't need to be really fancy at these things, because this video structure I'm about to give you, if you use it properly, and you don't have to stick to it, but expand on it and learn from it. If you use this properly, then people will watch your videos for longer, and when that happens, YouTube will share your video out to more people, because the longer people watch a video, the more YouTube sees it as being engaging or interesting. So this is that word engagement you're going to hear a lot, eh? So let's have a look at these 5 things that we've got that make an engaging video. First of all, you've got a hook. The next thing you've got is an introduction. And then you've got the meat of your video. This is the bulk of it in your storytelling, and we'll go into a bit about that shortly as well. Then you've got the conclusion, and finally a call to action. So let's have a look at those 5 things in order. The hook is the first 15 seconds of your video, and if you imagine you're going out fishing, which is where this term comes from, you're trying to hook somebody in. So you're casting your video out there, that's your thumbnail and your title and everything, and they're taking a nibble at your bait, which is what you're promising in those things, and they've gone for the bait. They're on your video, and this 15 seconds is testing to see whether that bait works, and you can actually hook them with it and keep them on the line. This is what you're trying to do. So this first 15 seconds is really, really important, and there are a couple of things I want you to not do with a video. Don't start with a 15, 20, 30 second intro graphic. Nobody cares about those. It's not what they're here for, and it's wasting your audience's time. What you want to do with that first 15 seconds is say, this is what the video is about, and this is what we're going to do in it. Let them know that they're on the right video, and that they're here, and you're going to give them the value that they're looking for. That's all you need to do in that first 15 seconds. Hi, how's it going? We're going to do this. We're looking at this camera. We're going to cook this sort of thing. And yeah, that's what they want to know. They want to know in that first 15 seconds that what they're here for is what they were promised. Then you've got your introduction. You can start expanding a bit more. Tell them what your name is, what your channel's about, and you're going to use fresh ingredients for cooking something, or you've gone and bought these components, or in this video we're going to do this, then do this, then do that, and then do something else. Use that for that second 30 to 45 seconds, maybe up to a minute, and explain everything else that's coming in the next 8 minutes of the video, because that's what you want to do with that introduction, is to enumerate the things that are happening. Make a list. It's a bullet point of everything that's coming. You've got them hooked in. You've earned that next 30 to 60 seconds. So tell them what to expect from the rest of the video. Now there's 2 things that you're going to do there. First of all, you're reaffirming that yes, this is the video that they want to watch, so that's great. The second thing is you're going to get them to stay longer if they've got an itemized list of things that are coming up. They know that there are going to be 5 or 6 different parts to the body of your video. So they're going to know that you're going to go shopping for some food, then they know you're going to prep the food, then they know you're going to cook the food, then they know you're going to dish the food up and see what it tastes like. Great, there's 5 things, there's 5 chapters to your video. This is storytelling. Simple. It's that easy, It's you don't want to just cook something without talking. You want to tell them a story. So you're saying, this is what we're going to cook today. Okay, we're going to go and do some shopping, then we're going to prepare the food, we're going to start cooking it, then we're going to present it properly and see what it tastes like. That's a really easy thing to do with a cooking video, but any other video is like that as well. You can come up with a number of points and enumerate them for your audience. Okay, then you've got the conclusion. Now the conclusion will be that last step. So you always want to wind it up with something really satisfying. You're going to dish the food out to people and get their reactions. So if you're cooking something, you don't just want to go, here it is, plonk. You want to cook that something, you want to dish it up, and you want to put it down in front of 3 or 4 people and get that really good emotional response from it, because your audience will feel that one. So make sure that your conclusion, which is going to be your last 30 seconds or a minute after your story, this is the great gratifying bit. It's the big photo op at the end of Star Wars. You want to make an emotional connection, because that's what's going to get people coming back watching another video later on. And then once you've got them emotionally involved and they're all part of this and they're feeling comfortable and they're just letting it play, that's when you want to say, hey, this has been great. If you want to see more videos like this, click down here and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notify bell, and while you're doing that, watch this video. And you can watch this video as well, because these are videos that YouTube have picked just for you, and you've got that call to action going before they've even noticed it happened. I'll see you in another video soon. Have a great day.